I don't think Lawnmower Man's back, but there's definitely a man with a power tool, or maybe a woman. Apparently we can use those too nowadays. Advances. Right, sorry if you can hear the really loud construction or whatever it is. Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see by the title, today we're going to be playing with lots of new makeup. It's makeup that I hauled in my last video, so things like the Carmi palette and other assorted items, which, fun fact, assorted is one of my least favourite words ever in the entire world. I meant to start off completely barefaced, but I'll put my brows on as I would have done anyway, and then I started doing this eye, and then I was like, no, you're supposed to be barefaced. So I want to kind of have the end result shown at the end rather than start my video with it. So we're just gonna jump right in and we're gonna start putting makeup on. Ignore that I always do one eye off camera, but anyway, it was a mistake. So I'm going to be using the Carmi palette in today's video because this is the only palette of his that has ever, I know he's only got two, but this palette interests me more because of some of the textures and things in here. So let's first begin. We're going to conceal my eyelid. This is the new Revlon Candid concealer. I will try it underneath my eye later on to see what the coverage is like, but I just wanted to use it just as my, you know, base for eyeshadow. What's that called? Eyeshadow base? Where did my voice go? I feel like I'm kind of getting my makeup mojo back. I mean, I was at least able to do this on this eye, so we'll see how far we get in this video before I'm like, wow, I can't apply makeup. Okay, so eyelid primed, and that concealer's done a really good job of just giving me a blank canvas to play with. Will I zoom you in a pinch? It just gets quite dark when I do that. Is this gonna be too bright? Let me see. Yep, that's way too bright. I'm gonna take the Zoeva 234 and I'm gonna dip into the shade Dark Side here, which I think is black. That's so noisy outside. I say I think it's black because it's not. No, it is black, but I thought it was maybe dark green, but it is black. I'm gonna focus this on the outer corner of my eye. Yeah, it's definitely black. I don't know what I was on about green. And then just to make sure I stay in my like rounded shape that I want to do today, I just take it a little bit along my lower lash line. Just that I don't end up dragging it out too far. And I'm just making sure that it is going to be visible above my crease. So noisy outside. And then I'm just going to blend this out with a clean brush just to soften the edges up a little bit. Okay, this is my Morphe M506. I'm going to have a shade Camel, which is this matte green at the bottom. And I'm going to go around the edges of Dark Side with this. And just start making my edges look really green. I'm also going to drag this colour into the inner corner. Oh my goodness. This is literally the worst experience trying to film. By the way, for any Game of Thrones fans, how good was episode 3? Oh my goodness. No spoilers. Best episode I've ever seen of anything in the entire world, but especially of Game of Thrones. Incredible, amazing. I'm gonna go over the shade Addicted, this one here. And same Morphe brush, M506. I'm just gonna blend the edges of that green. I would have actually kind of liked a lighter green, or maybe a more just kind of smoky green, but this is fine. It's really just gonna soften the edges, but also add another color in there. I've got to say, this palette's really good quality. I feel like it is kind of soft quality, and I do find that her palette, especially the second one, the Extra Spice, is the best quality palette that they've launched. And talking of Makeup Revolution and them launching Carmi's new palette, they've just released Jamie. I don't know who he is. I mean, I've seen his face on Instagram a lot, but I don't follow him personally. And oh, for sake, I'm gonna come back to you when I think that noise has stopped. It seems to have stopped momentarily. I'm just gonna take a clean brush and just go around the edges of this and soften it. But yeah, what I was saying was, Carmi's palette released like 1 week ago, and now they've released another collaboration with another influencer. And I know it's skincare, so it's different, and it's not like they're promoting a new palette, but I still feel like they just don't give them enough time to shine on their own and before another collaboration's released. And I know we discussed this in my kind of wine video. I'll link it if you want to see it, it's quite funny. But yeah, I just feel like they're not giving people enough time to shine on their own before releasing new collaborations. And if I was an influencer that like had a collaboration, I would be so cheesed off. Like, oh look, I've got this accomplishment, and then it's kind of it's like forgotten about because there's a new one, and it's just like no, you got to buy all. It's just like, you know. Anyway, gonna take the shade Confidence, this one here, which is just a bit lighter than Addicted. This is on a Morphe M514 great brush, and just dibble dabble it around the edges of what we've done thus far. Yeah, it's a super easy eye look. Just like 4 or 5 shades. Although I don't know what we're doing on the lower lash line. I do kind of want to jazz it up on the lower lash line with some of the other shades in the palette. But let's just do that for now. And then I'm just going to re-intensify this outer corner just a bit more dark side. Just make sure it's nice and smoked out into my crease. Blacks aren't scaring me quite as much as they used to, but they are still a bit scary to work with. Okay, now for the fun part. Taking my little blank canvas E27, and we're gonna take the shade You Got This one here, which to you probably looks like a bright teal. If I turn it, I'm not sure if you kind of see the pinkness in it, kind of pinky brown to teal. It's honestly like a multi-chrome. It's such an incredible shade, and it's wet in the pan. Like, look at that. Let me get out so it focuses. It's such a gorgeous shade. And it's a texture and formula from Makeup Revolution that I've not seen before. Like, this is probably the most advanced texture I've seen. So I'm picking it up on that brush, and I'm gonna wet it. You know me, I want maximum payoff. So I'm just using this Wet n Wild spray because it's the first one I picked out of my drawer. And I want to come in closer just to show you how gorgeous this is. It's just stunning. Do you see that? Carmi, you did real good with this. My word, it's beautiful. I'm taking that all over like the front half of my eyelid. It's a bit chunky when you pick it up on your brush, but I don't mind that. Just dragging it just over halfway, just over that black. And then I'm just gonna take it higher into my crease. So sorry again about the noise outside. You know me, I love taking shimmers into my crease. I think it's one of like the prettiest things you can actually do. And then I'm taking this blank canvas E10 and I'm dipping into that same shade. I'm gonna wet the brush. So my camera's like trying to focus on the background. And I'm just gonna work that well above my crease at the front. And just kind of swishing it into that black. And that just gives us a little bit of... Wasn't a fart, it's my arm. You can never replicate the noise. Save your reputation. And then I'm gonna pick it up on my finger and just press it on as well because I want maximum-ness from this shade. Oh, it's just so beautiful. It's like not drugstore. This pan is not drugstore. And then I'm picking up, what shade did I use? There's a pinch of this one here called Self-Made. Just patting that where it meets the black. I've got the biggest, tubbiest fingers, but whatevs. And then a little bit of Honesty on my finger as well. I'm just going to pat that like to the very centre of my eye, which is like at the bottom. Just to add in that little pinch of like brighter tone, see? Just the very centre. And just building up. This shade needs a wee bit of building. I could probably use it just wet on a brush, but I just want it to be a little bit diffused and like melting in, not packing it on with a brush. Just gorgeous, isn't it? Like, how is that drugstore? I don't understand. Alright, so I'm just gonna clean up my fallout and just wipe off this under eye eyeshadow because I really want to see how the concealer performs. Where's my ratty makeup wipe? I want to see how the concealer performs without like any eyeshadow down here, because if I have eyeshadow down here I don't get the concealer right up underneath my eye. And I like having it all the way up because then I can actually see what the coverage is like. Great, so now I'm just gonna go wet my sponge because obviously I forgot, and we'll be back, we'll do all our skin, and then we'll finish off the under eyes. So to prep my skin, I'm gonna go in with my new favorite. You will have seen me talk about it in my haul. This is the Glam Glow Glow Starter Mega Illuminating Moisturizer, and this one is in the shade Nude Glow. I think there are a couple of different shades of this. I'm not entirely sure. You get such a generous amount for the price. It is £36, which I know is expensive, but you really don't need to use much and you get this incredible glow to your skin. And I think it's a really worthwhile investment, and I got it on Look Fantastic and I got 20% off with the code LF20. They usually do 15% off, But if you're quick and you get in there fast enough, they will have a 20% discount. They do it mostly, I think it's every few days. The first 250 customers get a 20% discount, and then the rest get 15%, and this is included in that deal. There's like 15,000 products in it, so yeah, it's really worth it. So I'm just gonna smoosh this around. So obviously while moisturizing your skin, it's giving you this glow that is just phenomenal. Like, look at that. So beautiful. If you've got super dry skin, this would be amazing. Or if you've got quite dull skin, this would be amazing. A lot of people commented and said they've got oily skin and they use it and it works great. Super hydrating and just beautiful. I've used it under a couple of different foundations and they look gorgeous on top of it. Like, it didn't change anything. It's just a moisturizer, but just completely infused with these like gorgeous pearls of glowness, you know? And Nude Glow doesn't like change the colour of my skin, it just adds that extra. And it gives me a lot of confidence if I'm going out without makeup on. I'll just put this on. And yeah. The glow is real. Highly recommend this product. It is so good. So you might have seen in my haul that I had quite a lot of different foundations. Did I? I think I only hauled 2 foundations. However, I have in my drawer about 8 different foundations that I've bought since my foundation declutter, and I haven't used on camera, but I do want to use the Revlon Candid and see what I think of this. It says natural finish, anti-pollution foundation. I'm going to use shade 130 and hope that works. It says medium buildable coverage, no harsh ingredients, anti-pollution, antioxidant, anti-blue light, oil free. So anti-blue light's basically, I think that's like the light from your phone, and apparently that damages your skin as well, because everything damages everything these days. So let's see. That's 1 pump, 2 pumps, and I'll do one side of my face first and we'll see what the finish is like. So this colour is actually quite pale, but that's okay because I can always deepen it up with my powder or deepen it up with bronzer and things like that. And I would always rather go too pale with my foundation than too dark. Just gonna get another pump for my forehead, this side of it anyway. And it does say buildable, I must say it's definitely doing a good job of evening out my skin so far. But downsides of this product, just from a non having used it point of view, although I'm using it right now, but you know what I mean. There's only 22 mils in the bottle, and it's $9.99, so it's not exactly cheap drugstore. Like, I think $9.99 is pretty expensive for a drugstore foundation. But then again, Revlon isn't known for being super cheap. So that's me from afar. No makeup. Makeup, so clearly super evened out. Let me show you a close up. Let me dim this light because that actually shows it more realistically. So there we go, that's just moisturizer. And then that is the Candid foundation. I feel like it looks a little cakey around the side of my nose. But on the rest of my skin it looks fine. Actually, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, it looks a little dry, which is so weird with that moisturising base. But then it could maybe not enjoy the Glam Glow moisturiser. I'm not entirely sure because I've not used it with it. Let's put on another layer and just see how it builds and if I can get more full coverage, because I can still see slight redness and things through it. Nothing too bad, like I'd be happy going out with just this layer on, but I want to see how buildable it is because it does claim to be buildable. So I'm going to take one more pump and just work that on top. I think it does oxidize slightly because this does seem to be a little bit paler. It does build well on top of itself. It's not like doing anything weird. I don't think it's really up the coverage that much. Let's try the other side just quickly with a brush. So I'm just going to take this blank canvas F22. This is not sponsored by Blank Canvas. It's just a foundation brush that I have. And we'll see, I've got like a speck of glitter. We'll see what happens with this. It definitely oxidizes a shade, I would say. I just don't like foundation brushes. Like, I just find no matter what I do, I have streaks. Even with the famous Sigma, whatever it's called, that everyone used to bang on about, like, I just got the worst streaks. I'm not really seeing any difference in coverage with the brush. All I'm seeing is little streak marks. So I'm gonna throw that away to the side, grab one more pump, just to even my coverage out. So I feel like this foundation is being quite nice to my fine lines, deeper lines on my forehead. They used to be fine lines. It's being pretty kind on those. It'll be interesting to see what happens as the day progresses. But yeah, it's a really nice solid medium coverage. It's not full, but it's definitely good medium. With about, what, 9-10 pumps. And the problem with that for me is it's $9.99 and there's only 22 mils, and I had to use that much to get this kind of coverage. But like I said, I would have been happy with the first lot of coverage. But if I was like going to an event or doing something like fun, or going on a date night or something, actually, to be honest, date nights I usually go more natural because that's how Hamish prefers me. But if I had like an exciting event or something, I would totally not wear this, just based on the fact that it's not full coverage. But it looks really nice from afar, and it's got a nice kind of dewy satiny finish to it. Could be the moisturizer coming through. Let me do a close up of it now all over me whole face. There we go. It looks good. It definitely looks good. Oh, I've got a big hair stuck on me potato. Yeah, I think that does look pretty nice. I've not got major complaints. I do feel like it looks a bit cakey around like the crevices of my nose, but I mean, that's not a deal breaker, although it's not ideal. But it is nice. It's just expensive for how much product you actually get, and I think that's what's kind of fending me off saying nicer things about it. But first impressions, it's nice. So then I'm going to put on the concealer. Obviously this is in shade 010, which actually looks darker than the foundation. Let's test that theory out. I do have another new concealer I could use to brighten my under eyes if needed. So I'll do one eye and then see what the difference is. I put on quite a small amount there. I really wish I'd picked up the powder that matches this foundation, but I didn't. It was £10. It's quite expensive. Yeah, it's like the same colour now as the foundation. So it's like not brightened up my under eyes, but it has, I think, erased the darkness a pinch. Definitely looks lighter than this side. What does this claim to do? Concealer with caffeine, antioxidants, anti-pollution, anti-blue light, without sulfates, phthalates, and no harsh fragrances, oil-free, medium coverage. And it has this like weird doe foot, which I think is quite fun. And this comes with 10 mils of product. So it's quite a generous concealer for $6.99. So this is something I could see myself repurchasing if I like the look of it, because for that price, for this amount of product, that's pretty good. It's not a very dry concealer, which I like it's quite, it feels quite hydrating and it doesn't feel heavy. That is pretty nice, that concealer. I actually think I like the concealer more than I like the foundation, which is weird because usually it's the other way around, to be honest, but it's definitely kind of hidden some of my dark circles, although I think this is potentially the lightest shade and it's darker than the foundation, which I think I might have got the lightest shade in. I'm not sure, I can't actually recall. But yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that concealer especially. And then the other concealer I want to try, but this time for cream contouring, is the Revolution Fast Base Concealer. How have I never tried this before? I also have the one that I would use under my eyes, but I'm not going to use that today. I'll have that on another day. So let's get off this plastic. I got the shade C14 and it's one of those twist ups. How much product do you get in here? 4.5 mils. Just come through. This is pretty dark, so I'm just gonna do a few little dots. It's actually probably quite good that it's dark because my foundation is still too light. I'm just adding more dots because I get carried away. Tapping so gently here. So I'm just using my Real Techniques contour brush just to start buffing this out. I think this was a mistake because I can see that my base below it is moving. So maybe this is very quick dry. Yeah, it feels like really dry. I'm just gonna spray my face with this setting spray just to try and give it a bit more hydration so I can blend this out a bit easier. I literally put it on and started blending it out, so that dried down so fast, like way too fast. People say it's like super hydrating under your eyes and stuff, and it's really good for like more mature skin. But on me, that just like dried down so fast that I almost had no time to blend it, which is fine for certain things, but not for like when you're wanting to cream contour with a concealer. Like you need it to be pliable and stay wet so you can blend it out. Okay, if you can hear me over the drilling, it's rescued with going over everything with my sponge that has leftover foundation on it. But I would say now it kind of looks like I haven't really cream contoured, which I'm not like super chuffed about, but it's okay. My face isn't ruined. I don't have like a new setting powder, but I have one that I haven't tried, which is the Jeffree Star in the translucent. I tried Fair in my video, which I will link above, where I tried the concealer in that for the first time. So I'm just gonna pour some out into the cap. I really like this powder in Fair, so I'm sure I will like translucent. It's such a lightweight smoothing powder, and I think it is still out of stock at the moment. But if you can get your hands on it, I really would. Fair works perfectly on my pale skin, and translucent obviously will. And the kind of hidden gem about this, which I know isn't reflecting like the quality of how it works, but it smells like candy floss. Like legit candy floss. And when you get like a little bit of it in your mouth, it tastes like candy floss. There we go, looking fabulous. I like that you can close it as well. But to be honest, I get powder everywhere anyway, so being able to close it just doesn't mean that much, because it's literally everywhere. And then for the rest of my face, a product I actually haven't used on my channel yet, even though I've had it in my drawer for ages, the Revolution Pro Powder Foundation. I'm going to use the shade F4. I have used this a couple of times in my personal time, but this is, I think, the first time I'm using it on camera. This is like a dupe of MAC Studio Fix because it has coverage. It's a powder foundation, so if you're someone that likes powder foundations, then this is a powder foundation. If you're someone that likes a lot of coverage on your face, then you might be like me and use a powder foundation to set your makeup. This one does have a total pink undertone to it. F5 is probably actually a pinch lighter, or appears lighter because it's more neutral toned, whereas this is really quite pink toned. But it's actually quite good because it is making my base match my neck a little bit more in my chest. In fact, I'll probably now go a bit darker in those areas. But I like it. Really sets your makeup into place, but also gives you like an extra level of coverage up from your foundation and concealer. And I love MAC Studio Fix, but it's like £26. So if I've got a good dupe for it, then I'm all up for that. And just gonna wipe my bake off. I do think my skin looks a little bit more dry than it does normally, which is weird. Because I actually never have dry skin, ever. I don't ever get dry patches or anything. This is kind of reminding me of when I tried the Fenty foundation and all of a sudden had dry patches that I've literally never ever had in my entire life. But it's just kind of on my cheeks here and like around my nose. And it's not putting me off. I would still go out like this happily. I'm going to spritz my face using my new MAC Fix Plus Pink Light. I got this a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago. My second last haul, I think. And I've never tried it. And I want to put this on before I put on any lip products, so I'll probably spray my face a few times. But I do find with setting sprays that have a glow in them, if you have like a matte lip on, for example, it puts like really small particles of shimmer on it. So this is why I'm going to do it now. Plus I feel quite dry. And then I'll probably do it again as well, so. That smells incredible. Is that what MAC Fix Plus smells like? Because that is lovely. Okay. And then usually with glowy setting sprays, I do have to kind of pat over it with my sponge. Because I do get slight kind of dots of glow. But that has made me feel super hydrated. My dressing gown is drenched. I'm just going to check my battery, then we'll move on to the next stage. But yeah, I like that setting spray. It's nice. It's nice. It's not life-changing, but it's nice. Oakley dokley, then you probably see lash, lower lash line, done. I wanted to go very different to the top because I wanted to play with more colours in the palette, and that's what I've done. So what we're gonna do is take the shade Bite Me, love that name, and I'm gonna pack this pencil brush with this shade. And I'm gonna wet it just with that Wet n Wild spray because I'm not wasting MAC Fix Plus wetting a brush. And that's what I'm gonna drag all the way along. And it took about 3 coats to get it like quite opaque like the other side. Just going in dry over that wet shadow, and that really helps to build up the opacity as well. Pink can be quite tricky, it can make you look quite ill underneath your eyes. I personally don't really mind that look. I think it's quite cool when it's like that, and also it's such a contrast to the top. I'm going to take some dark side and just run that on this outer corner because I want this to be really deep on this outer corner. I just can't get over how good that episode of Game of Thrones was, to be honest. I've now watched it twice and I'm definitely gonna watch it for a 3rd time. That's how good it was. I'm telling you, if you don't watch Game of Thrones, you are seriously missing out. Like my silly husband who refuses to watch it. Even though he loves Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, it's just Lord of the Rings, but a series. And there's a lot of boobs and butts and other fun stuff. What man wouldn't want to watch that? And where is that brush? And I'm just grabbing like a pointy fluffy brush and the shade Free Hugs. This one here, fun fact. Not a hugger, not a hugger at all. In fact, not a physical contacty person. Really, really, really value my own space. Like physically and mentally, and yeah, just not a hugger. Anyway, it's a bit off topic. There we go, pop Free Hugs under there. A bit more dark side. This outer corner, you're probably not at all seeing what I'm doing because I'm still zoomed out. And then I'm going to take this new Kat Von D pencil in Bubblegum. This is the Ultra Versatile Face Pigment Stick in Bubblegum. Because I don't actually have a pink eyeliner. And I'm going to put this in my waterline. Super pigmented. So beautiful. Okay, I'm just going to throw mascara and lashes on, then I'll do pink bottom lashes, and then we'll finish off the rest of the face. This video is probably very, very long, but we're not surprised, are we? So I put my lashes on and then put black mascara on the bottom, but I went in then with pink ink from Colourpop, which is a pink mascara. But I don't know, it's not that pink. It is pretty pink, but it's not that pink. Oh wow, they're literally just starting their machines outside again. So I'm going in with the Kat Von D pencil. Really should wait for my lashes to dry because that's not having any effect. And then I'm gonna wait for that noise to shut up, and then I'll be back. Again, I'll be back for bleeping bleeps. So then for my inner corner, I'm going in with the shade Honesty, which is the only shade in the palette that would work for my inner corner. And to be honest, it's still a little dark. Like, it kind of leaves a cast, but I don't really care. It's the only color I can use. Maybe I'll lighten it up with my highlighter. I'm just gonna throw it on there. And I can't find my inner corner brush. This is just a Huda Beauty Smoke and Smudge. And I hate double-ended brushes. So first applied wet, and then applied dry. Gives you a lot of colour payoff. So I got this a few months ago, maybe 1.5 months ago. It's the Too Faced Natural Face Palette. I don't think I've used it on camera. I have used it a couple of times in my own time. So we're gonna use, it smells so good. Coconuts, kind of chocolatey, I don't know. I'm gonna use Sunny Honey, which is the lighter bronzer. And from first trying it, I have learnt to use a light hand. So I'm going to tap off the excess because it is very pigmented. I'm just going to start warming up my face. This side of my face looks worse than this side because I feel like the contour concealer I used just took off quite a lot of my foundation. So yeah, just unfortunately this is my ugly side today. Although it's usually my better side. It's the side that you can't see my crooked front tooth on. Just adding a wee pinch more, especially to my cheeks. It's a gorgeous formula. It's really smooth and buttery and lovely. I mean, it should be. I think this palette was between 35 and 45, I can't remember. But I love it so much. Don't look at the side. So nice. And then I'm gonna grab my Too Faced Cocoa Contour. Just got this quite recently, and I am going to take, I'm actually going to mix the light and medium contour shades together just on my brush, just kind of dip between them because the light one's almost too light and the medium one is almost, well, it's definitely too dark. And I found now that when I put bronzer on before contour, I just use less contour and I think it looks better. Just do a little pinch on my nose. I'll just use the light one. That's alright. And then for, what do we usually do next? Highlight. I've got a few new highlights, but I think the one I want to use is the Colourpop. And this is Super Shock Cheek Pearlized, and this is in the shade Thimble, which is a lovely kind of champagne gold. Only thing is my face is powdered, so this could work and it might not work. I am going to take it on a brush because I just prefer applying it with a brush than my finger. I'm just going to pat because I don't want to disrupt my base with a wet product. Very light sweeping motions. I really do like Colourpop highlighters. I think they are very good. Isn't that pretty? Gosh, that's pretty, isn't it? It's gorgeous. Oh, I like it. I really like the highlighter in the Natural Face palette as well, which is a pinch too dark for me. I can wear it when I'm wearing my like most blinding, I'm thinking about highlights so obviously, my like deepest foundation, but this one here is really pretty, and then this one here is gorgeous as well, way more pink toned. This really is a stunning palette. Look at the colour of that blush. Ooh, I love it. But I have a different blush I want to use because I got sent this the other day and I heard the postman squeezing a parcel through my letterbox and I was like, please don't, and then I just heard plop and I was like, oh well, whatever's in there's broken. And it's this though, it's Milani blush. This is Coral Cove, and I just want to show you how beautiful this colour is. It's almost neon. It's the most beautiful colour blush. Like, I might just buy this again. Well, I didn't buy it, I got sent it, but I might just buy this just so that I don't have a broken one. It's really pigmented, super coral, as you can probably guess by the name, like peachy coral beautifulness. I just love it so much. I don't know how I haven't discovered this shade before now. Look at that highlight as well. God. Do you know what? This video's gone pretty well considering a lot of its first impressions, well, especially the base products, because that's usually where things go obscenely wrong for me. Gorgeous blush, Coral Cove. Would recommend. I'm gonna go in with another spritz of this. Maybe slightly less this time. It just smells so good. Yeah, keep it at a distance because it is one of those glowy sprays, so it can leave speckles on the old face. All that's left is lips, and I don't know really what I have super new. I must have something. I've got a few Milani lipsticks, but I kind of want to go nude just because this eye's quite bold and the blush is bold, and I kind of made that more of a feature. So I do kind of want to go nude, even though I'm obviously tempted by like a bright pink. I might take that up higher. Let me find a lip and then we'll come back. So I'm just gone in with this Technic lip liner. This is in the shade Barely There. It's a nude shade. You mightn't have guessed it. Just filled my lips in completely. Don't really have a new lip product I want to use. I'm just going to use Maybelline 710 because it's a nice pale nude. I would love to know if you're fairer like me and you love super nudes, like almost concealer lips, what's your go-to? Because mine is Jeffree Star I'm Nude, Maybelline 981, yeah, 981, 710's really nice as well, but it's quite sheer. That's why I like a lip liner on my whole lips underneath it. ABH Milkshake. I just love super pale nudes. Here we are then, finished look. Not quite, let me go through on my earrings and various accoutrements and I'll be back and we'll discuss the products briefly because this video has been really long if my filming time is anything to do with it. Be back in a mo. Why do I keep doing this? Here we are then, blonde wig on, badly applied, don't care. Got my earrings in, and that's it. Oh, so were my pajamas, ignore that. I am pleased overall with how this makeup look has come out. I think a lot of blush, but a lot of blush is a statement. So very briefly, let's talk about the products we used. So first off, where did I put it? Okay, it's here. Really highly recommend the Glam Glow Illuminating Super something everything will be linked down below. It's incredible, worn alone, under makeup, no makeup, makeup days, whatever you want on holiday. I think that would be stunning. The Revlon foundation and concealer, I need to try a few more times. Been on my skin now about 5 hours, maybe 4 hours, and it looks really good. Like, my skin does look really good, but it does look slightly dry. I would probably have to keep hydrating it with a spray, but I will try it in more videos just to kind of keep testing it and seeing what I think. But I do think $9.99 is very expensive for 22 mils of product. Like, that's a lot. So that's what kind of puts me off saying it's super good, but it is nice. It's nice. The concealer I'm more impressed with, to be honest. I think it's got a really nice coverage. It's quite hydrating under the eyes and I like it. $6.99 for 10 mils is also a pretty good deal. The Revolution Fast Base Concealer, I will need to try this again as well. Maybe with a foundation that doesn't feel so dry on my skin. Not that this feels excessively dry, but it does look a little bit dry. And then I think this on top of it wasn't good. Maybe if I put this on with a super hydrating foundation, it would look good as a cream contour, but as it was today, not impressed by it. But I've heard such good things about it. The Kat Von D pencils, these ones, comes in orange and blue as well. I really like this. It's super creamy, but it has not budged from my lower lash line, sorry, my waterline or my lashes as well, so I really like that. The Colourpop BFF mascara, I do like this formula, but this pink one isn't that pigmented. The yellow one is better in my opinion. I've got that as well, and I think that's more impressive. This Carmi palette definitely impressed me. I mean, this eyeshadow could be high-end. I could have like used a ABH or a Urban Decay palette. I think the textures in here are super interesting. The top row feel wet. At least the ones that I used, especially the gold, like they're pliable. Like if you put your finger in it, it makes a dent kind of thing. And this shade here really is super unique in a drugstore eyeshadow palette. I feel like that one is so high-end feeling and looking, and formula-wise, it's so nice, and it's just gorgeous on the eye. I don't know if it picks up on camera how beautiful it is, but it is like MAC blue brown, but it has a pinky purple shift to it as well, so it's so beautiful. And the mattes were really pigmented, really easy to blend. I think this is a really good palette all round, to be honest. There's a few shades in here I don't care about, whatever, but overall it's a really beautiful palette, and I need to play with it more. I can see myself picking this up a lot more now because I know how good quality it is, whereas because I don't have a connection with Carmi, I was never really interested in his first palette. That damn man has started that noise again. So yeah, I'm going to use this a lot more if you want to see more of it on my channel. I'm going to speak loudly to get rid of that noise. Really like this. It smells incredible. I'm not sure if it really makes your makeup last that much longer or if it's more of a boost of hydration. I don't necessarily notice it made my skin look more glowy, but then round here does look really glowy, and I didn't put highlight that far, so maybe it is quite a good glowy setting spray. Really like this Revolution Pro powder. It is pigmented and it does have really good coverage. Look at that for a powder. It has coverage, so you could wear this alone, or like me, to set a foundation. Yes, 100% yes, yes. When these come back in stock, please pick one up, even if just to smell it. I know that's a ridiculous reason, but it smells so good. Just wish you got more product for the cost. Okay, very quickly, I'm boring myself. Too Faced Natural Face and Cocoa Contour. Recommend. They're both really good quality, as you would expect for the price, but also from Too Faced. I think their face products are really well talked about for good reason. That is gorgeous, has the most beautiful blushes in it as well as bronzers and highlights. And nobody really needs this much contour, but I'm just looking at my pile like I know you didn't either, but it's really nice. Love both of those palettes. And then if you were to get one thing, this blush for summertime, it's so gorgeous. It's honestly almost neon. I actually want to use this as an eyeshadow as well because I think it's such a cool colour. It's amazing. And I mean, Maybelline 710 isn't new, but great pale nude. So that is it from me today. I hope you enjoyed this journey with me, trying a lot of new products and also products I've just never tried on my channel before but have in my collection. I want to do a makeup I've bought but never wear video. I also want to do a makeup style I hate video. So like doing the opposite of the makeup that I enjoy doing, just to see what happens really. On a day again where I feel self-destructive, I would need to do that. So I hope the noise wasn't too off-putting. I'm not sure how much actually picks up on camera and how much doesn't until I edit it, but I hope it wasn't too off-putting. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave me a comment down below. I do reply to all of my comments. Also give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and please consider subscribing because it's the polite thing to do and we all need to spread more politeness around this planet. And on that note, I'll say goodbye and I hope I see you in my next video. Bye. That kind of love is not easy to find, babe. I haven't felt that since you